Hello and welcome to Devil's Advocate. How is the Congress party facing up to its performance in Uttar Pradesh? That's the key issue I shall raise today in an interview with the party's special spokesman for the state, Union Minister Kapil Sibal. Mr. Sibal, despite Rahul Gandhi's extensive campaigning in Uttar Pradesh, the party lost 3 seats and your vote share came down to 8.42%. Can you concede that this is a disappointing outcome?
Oh, absolutely. It is a disappointing outcome. The only sense of solace is that whereas other parties have lost their vote bank substantially, at least we've maintained our vote bank.
Well, you didn't have very much to maintain. It was 8.96. It's now down to 8.42.
Well, whatever. It's about the same that we and we started this election with 16 seats.
Well, no, 25.
No. You're talking of the 202.
That's the only fair comparison.
No, not really.
Well,
because
you lost people in between.
9 of them left us, and therefore, we started this with only 16 MLAs, and we've got 22. That's no solace for us. But I'm only saying that whereas the BJP has come down substantially, lost 50-odd seats, and Samajwadi has lost 100-odd seats, at least.
You're determined to find a silver lining to the cloud.
No, it's not. I'm disappointed.
Okay, let's explore that disappointment. The truth of the matter is, in 2002, you won 25 seats. This time, you've won 12% less. In 2002, you had an 8.96 vote share. This time, it's fallen by 6%. What went wrong?
Well, nothing went wrong. What went right for Maya is the question. Everything went right for her. I mean, she put up about 93 candidates in the reserve constituencies. She won 61. She put up 97 candidates in the Brahmin
constituency. Can I interrupt? Let's not talk about what went right for Maya. Congress was fighting to do better. You were fighting to improve your vote share. You were fighting to win more seats. You didn't. But what went wrong?
I told you. What went wrong with us is what went right with Maya. Namely, vote bank politics, Dalit politics, with strategic alliances with Muslims, with Brahmins and with Thakurs.
Are you saying there's nothing that you could have done which would have improved your prospects and performance, which you didn't do? There were no lapses on your part?
If you ask me, supposing we had started in UP 2 years ago, okay, and we had people on the ground, which we did not have.
So you should have started earlier.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
Why didn't you?
Well, I cannot answer that question. I was called to the election pretty late. But be that as it may...
Can I just explore this? If you concede that you should have started earlier, does this mean that the managers who actually are responsible failed to target a deadline earlier?
I am not in a position, and nor do I wish to criticize anybody.
Don't criticize, just be open and reflective.
I have been open by making a statement that if supposing we had more people on the ground, we were relevant. Remember, we've been out of power for 17 years. It's very difficult to build a base because all our workers since 96 actually moved away. So it's very difficult to build a base. So what we need to do is really very hard work.
Did you do enough to build the base, or did you take it?
Maybe not. I've candidly said so. Maybe not.
So you're saying 3 important things. You should have started earlier. You should have done more to build a base, and you should have done it with greater dedication.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
At the end of the day, I take it the responsibility for all 3 lapses has to fall on the UPCC president and the party in Uttar Pradesh.
This is not the issue. We are analyzing an election result. We knew from the beginning that with an 8-9% vote base, we're not going to get to 30%. We have because we are a national party and don't rely on caste, we didn't go into this election with a caste. We thought that we'd give people an agenda. Our foremost objective was to remove Mulayam Singh Yadav. We've been able to do that.
But I have to interrupt you. You haven't been able to do it. Mayawati did it. She got 50% of the seats. You got barely 5%.
Our attack helped that process as well.
Well, only marginally.
Well, I don't know about
that. Very marginally.
That's a matter of analysis. But I personally think it did help.
Let's come back to the facts. Rahul Gandhi personally chose the candidates. He personally led the campaign from the front. What share of the responsibility for not getting a better result falls on him? As I said to you,
this is not an anti-Congress, anti-BJP. It's an anti-Mulayam and pro-BSP vote. It is not an anti-Congress, anti-BJP
No,
vote.
I'm asking a different question.
If you look at both...
I'm saying given that lapses were made, which you have generously and readily conceded, how much responsibility for those lapses falls on Rahul Gandhi?
No. But again, I am not here to say who is responsible for what. I'm only telling you the reality on the ground.
Absolutely.
I mean, as far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned, I have to say that when he got into the election and moved from place to place with his road shows and the kind of response he got, we are very happy that we are building a base for the 2009 election.
Well, that's your interpretation, but again, look at the facts of the matter. Salman Khurshid, the UPCC president, went on record to say that Rahul Gandhi came to UP to build Congress. What is the outcome? The Congress tally of seats falls by 12%, the vote share falls by 6%. He's shrunk Congress.
Incidentally, Rome cannot be conquered in a day, and you know that.
But you're losing ground, you're not even advancing.
Think that 6 weeks, that's hardly losing ground to maintain our vote share.
A 12% loss of seats, a 6% loss of vote share. It is.
Actually, that's incorrect.
3 out of 25 is 12%.
That's not correct. I said we went into this election with 16 MLAs.
But it compares to
gain
2002.
Of 25%.
Okay, your vote share went down.
That's hardly going down.
6%.
In fact, that's also
6%.
No, incidentally, that's not clear figure yet. In fact, yesterday on several TV channels, we said as far as Congress is concerned, it lost no.
The Times of India this morning, Saturday morning, 8.42% compared to 8.96.
Times of India is not the gospel truth in this country.
Let's look at it like this. Given that Rahul came to build Congress and has ended up, as I put it, shrinking Congress, was it because he failed to get important support from the leadership of the UP Congress? After all, Salman Khurshid wasn't even able to get his own wife elected.
That proposition that he came to build Congress and he lost, I don't agree with.
Well,
I think
I'm
that
quoting Salman Khurshid.
In fact, we are the only party which have been able to maintain both its vote share as well as its seats.
Well, you haven't maintained it. I keep telling you it shrunk by 6%.
I've given you the answer. We are the only party. If you look at the BJP, they are now 17% or 18% of the vote share. They've gone down from 106 to 50.
Because they had that much vote share to lose.
No,
you don't.
I'm sorry.
To lose from 8.9%,
they've lost something like 6%.
Is terrible.
I'm sorry, I don't agree with that figure. I've told you that.
All right, let me explore with you the explanations you gave generously for what went wrong. Satyavrat Chaturvedi, the General Secretary of the Congress Party, says that the real problem was Congress organization, that you simply didn't have the organization to back up Rahul Gandhi's campaign. How badly lacking, how badly missing was your organization?
Well, first of all, remember what Rahul said when he went into this election. He said, I am here for the long haul. Rahul himself realized that there are no miracles to be had in this election, that nothing much was going to happen. We ourselves knew that of the candidates that we have put up, we are only seriously in contention in only some of the constituencies. And we were working hard on those constituencies. But with the kind of wave that
your
we
party
saw,
fellow colleagues, including ministers and people like Salman Khurshid, were claiming that you could get up to 40 seats, perhaps even 50 seats. So that was vain boasting and silly boasting.
No. I think when your channels were vainly boasting and boasting in a very silly fashion.
I'm talking of congressmen on those channels.
What were those?
But congressmen on those channels were endorsing those boasts.
What were the exit polls saying? They were exit polls were, just.
But I'm simply
therefore, for somebody to say he expects 40 seats, there's nothing wrong. That's his perception. It went wrong. Your whole channel exit polls went wrong. So why do you blame Salman Khurshid for that?
As you say, you knew that you weren't going to get too many seats. As you said, to move from 8% to 30% was pretty close to impossible. Given that you already knew this, was it wise to have fielded Rahul?
Absolutely. I think Rahul is there to stay. Rahul will lead the party in the next election. Rahul will get our party.
In UP or nationwide? In UP or nationwide?
I cannot say that, but he has himself talked about Uttar Pradesh.
But it could be nationwide also from what you're suggesting.
I don't know. This is something that Rahul himself will decide, but certainly in Uttar Pradesh.
Rahul will decide?
Yes.
Rahul will decide whether he leads the party nationwide or just in Uttar Pradesh?
No, of course he will decide whether he wants to concentrate on Uttar Pradesh or he wants to go out further.
This is not a decision his mother takes.
It's a decision the Congress party takes in consultation with Rahul in consultation with the Congress party. What's wrong with that?
So not Rahul on his own, as you suggested a moment ago.
It never does. It never happens. When I say Rahul, I mean the Congress party. Rahul is part of Congress.
The two are synonymous. Rahul
is part of Congress, I said. He's part of Congress.
You said when I say Rahul, I mean the Congress party.
No, I said Rahul is because Rahul is part of the Congress party.
Let me come back to my question.
Let's not quibble with words.
Before the UP elections, everyone said that Rahul was a vote winner for Congress. Has that image been badly damaged?
Not at all. Rahul is a vote winner, will be a vote winner in the future, will be the mascot of the Congress party.
Before the UP elections, people said that Rahul could be the miracle man that could win the 2009 elections for Congress. Has that hope been damaged?
I don't think so. I think Rahul is the miracle man who will actually lead the Congress forward.
Is Rahul's image dented by the failure of Congress to do better?
I don't think so.
So it's as intact as it was earlier.
Absolutely.
He remains the same.
I'll tell you why. Because his sincerity is intact, his honesty is intact, his credentials are intact, and his sense of purpose is intact.
But his ability to deliver has been badly dented.
That's nothing to do with Rahul Gandhi. Remember, Rahul Gandhi is not on his own. He cannot deliver for the Congress party.
So Rahul, okay, but Congress was the problem.
Always.
Let's take a break at that point and let's come back and talk about the comments Rahul Gandhi made during the campaign. They attracted a lot of controversy. They attracted a lot of criticism. Was that justified? We'll be back in a moment's time. See you after the break. Welcome back to Devil's Advocate and an interview with Kapil Sibal. Kapil Sibal, let's turn to Rahul Gandhi's comments during the campaign in Uttar Pradesh, which attracted not just controversy, but sharp criticism. Were they a product of immaturity, inexperience, or bad advice?
No, it's neither. I think it's a product of the fact that in the mode of election, you say a lot of things which are meant in the context in which you say them, and of course the media has a fun day and sort of misinterpreting them or actually making them out into something that was never meant.
Let's in that case look closely at two of the things he said. To begin with, Rahul Gandhi claimed had the Gandhi family been in politics, the Babri Masjid demolition would not have taken place. That not only overlooks the fact that his father Rajiv began the 1989 election in Ayodhya promising Ram Rajya, but it also casts aspersions upon Narasimha Rao, a former party president and prime minister.
Well, you know, quite frankly, if we look back and forget what Rahul said, when I as a congressman look back, and I look back at the then government, I do feel that we could have perhaps done more in protecting the Babri Masjid.
In other words,
it's like saying that there's a crime committed, right, and the policeman reaches the spot a little late.
So you're saying that the Narasimha Rao government shares some of the culpability for the crime?
No, they may have reached late. Maybe they did not anticipate the crime. They don't share any part of the culpability. But sometimes it does happen. The information comes late or you don't assess the information well enough so that you cannot reach there on time.
If this is what was in Rahul Gandhi's mind, then the problem is that in casting aspersions upon the Narasimha Rao government, he's also casting aspersions upon Dr. Manmohan Singh, who was finance minister.
Not at all. That was never, and I explained
He was part
to you,
of the government.
I have explained to you what was meant. That sometimes it does happen that the policeman reaches late, not because he shares part of the culpability.
One of the policemen who reached late was in fact the government, and that includes the finance minister.
If you remember, Kalyan Singh assured the Supreme Court that nothing would happen. So maybe the then Prime Minister believed Kalyan Singh.
You can't accuse Narasimha Rao.
We are not accusing him.
Well, Rahul Gandhi seems to have
No,
done
he
so.
didn't. I'm sorry. This is again the spin of the media. May I explain? This is the spinner. He never said that Narasimha Rao was responsible. He said, in fact, subsequently, then he holds Narasimha Rao in great respect.
Well, he may hold him in great respect, but
he
had
didn't
the
say
Gandhis been in politics...
Let's be clear. I think what his statement was absolutely correct, and I'll tell you why. At the time when this happened, Mrs. Gandhi was not in politics. At the time when this happened,
Dr. Manmohan Singh was.
If you don't mind.
Dr. Manmohan Singh was part of the government.
No, he said the Gandhi family.
Late.
Incident. He said that if the Gandhi family had been in politics, he was not talking about Dr. Manmohan Singh. He was not talking about Narasimha Rao.
In what capacity would the Gandhi family been in politics?
May I explain what he meant?
Would they have been steering
if you
from
don't
the
allow
back?
me to explain,
Go
then
ahead.
what?
Go ahead.
At that time, Rahul Gandhi was not in politics. Rajiv Gandhi was no more. Mrs. Gandhi was not in Congress politics.
Those facts are known.
That's so. Therefore, he said, had we been in politics, this may not have happened.
Quite right. Had we been there to steer the government, we would have ensured the demolition wouldn't have happened, which meant Narasimha Rao was inadequate, and therefore the government was inadequate, and therefore the Prime Minister of today was inadequate.
This is your spin. All that he said was, had we been there in politics, maybe this would not have happened.
All right.
It's not blaming Narasimha Rao.
Let me take up the spin you're putting on it. Had we been there in politics, this wouldn't have happened. That clearly suggests that the rest of...
It may not have happened.
Let me finish.
You are putting a wrong spin.
May not have happened. That clearly suggests that the rest of Congress doesn't measure up to the Gandhi family's high standards.
That's your spin. That's not what it means.
It also clearly suggests that without a Gandhi at the top, the party is not as secular.
My dear, that's your spin.
That's the only logical interpretation.
That's your illogical spin.
It's the only logical interpretation.
It is the most illogical spin. When you say, I may have done it, it doesn't mean somebody else is to blame.
Every single newspaper in the country interpreted it in this way, except for you.
If I had been an advocate in the case, I may have won it. But that doesn't mean that somebody else pleaded badly.
No, it clearly suggests that the other person didn't plead as well as he could have, and that you would have pleaded better. That is what Rahul is saying.
It is a may. It is a may that the may have
in this instance still casts doubt upon Narasimha Rao, it casts doubt upon Manmohan Singh.
I do not agree with you, Karan Thapar.
All right, let's then move to the second statement that Rahul said, which attracted controversy and created a lot of criticism for him. He claimed in a vain boast that the Gandhi family had set out to divide Pakistan and succeeded, that not only overlooks the job done by Field Marshal Manekshaw, General Arora, the Indian Army and the Mukti Bahini, but it convinces the Pakistanis that India has been deliberately interfering in that country's internal affairs.
Quite frankly, again, you are blowing it out of context. What he meant was that the liberation struggle that took place was at the and Mrs. Gandhi's firm action at that time has to be applauded. That's all that he meant.
That's not what he said.
That's exactly what he meant.
What he needs then to say what he means rather than say something else.
No. In the
young man's articulation needs to be improved.
In the course of an election, if you just heard Kalyan Singh what he said, if you heard Rajnath Singh what he said, you can make any spin on it.
A man who wants to be the future Prime Minister of India needs to learn to speak precisely and accurately.
The matter is that this is exactly what he meant, and we all know it.
Well, you're interpreting it.
I know
I don't know it.
Well,
I'm questioning you.
As an intelligent man, you do. And Karan, you are far more intelligent than any of us.
How kind for that? That's a flattering compliment.
So you know it. You are doing it for the media, which is fine.
Let me put it like this. Not only did Rahul Gandhi make a vain boast that his family was the sole responsibility for the partition of Pakistan, but he also claimed credit for the family for independence, ignoring Mahatma Gandhi.
Again, that's not true.
Can I finish?
Again, that's not true.
He said so.
No.
He said, my family had set out to achieve independence and did it. There was no mention of Mahatma Gandhi.
Let us be clear. If there is one family in this country, I mean, you look at the Nehru family, Jawaharlal Nehru, Vijay Lakshmi Pandit, Krishna Hathi Singh, Indira Gandhi, all went to jail. No exception. Motilal Nehru, Kamala Nehru.
What about Mahatma Gandhi?
Great. Mahatma Gandhi is the father of the nation.
Quite my point. Is it fitting that a young 36-year-old inexperienced MP should put his family before the father of the nation?
Again, you are putting a spin on it. What he said
I'm not putting a spin. I'm quoting him.
You are. He has not talked about Mahatma Gandhi. He didn't say
he should have.
Not the father
he should have. When claiming responsibility for independence, he shouldn't have forgotten Mahatma Gandhi.
So, Karan, your argument is that in an election, when you make a statement about the contribution of the family, you must give a historical treatise of the contribution of all congressmen from Bal Gangadhar Tilak and H.R. Gokhale to Mahatma Gandhi and to Abul Kalam Azad.
No,
I'm sorry, in an election that does not happen.
I'm sorry, in an election when you're winning votes, you need to be accurate.
I'm sorry, this didn't lose Rahul Gandhi any votes, and didn't lose Congress any votes.
It lost him credibility.
On the contrary.
All right,
as I said to you, Rahul Gandhi has emerged as a credible face of the Congress party in Uttar Pradesh and hopefully in India.
That's what you say. Let me quote you from the Hindu, a paper that normally supports you in an edit. Let me finish.
I'm not going to respond to that.
Hear it. In an editorial entitled The Politics of Immaturity, The Hindu writes, Mr. Gandhi's problems are twofold. The inability to think beyond the first family and the lack of a cohesive vision.
I'm afraid I do not agree. I think this is the one family that has a completely cohesive vision. We are the only party which doesn't do caste politics the way you've seen it in Uttar Pradesh. We're the only party that leads our people under an umbrella, a social engineering umbrella. And I think that Rahul Gandhi, Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, Pandit Nehru served
this nation. What about future Gandhis to come in generations ahead? Include them as well.
Perhaps
young Ryan Gandhi.
Oh, absolutely. What? Who did he say?
Let me put something to you.
Who did you say?
Congress may have lost vote share in Uttar Pradesh. You may have failed to win seats. Rahul Gandhi's lost credibility.
Oh, I disagree with you entirely.
Today he's seen as an immature 36-year-old who speaks without knowing, who makes silly boasts.
That's your line on devil's advocate. That's your line, Karan. And my line is that's completely wrong.
You're saying to me that Rahul Gandhi stands heads and shoulders above anyone else in Indian politics?
Did I say that? He stands as a leader who is going to lead the Congress party in Uttar Pradesh as he has committed.
Kapil Sibal, a pleasure talking to you on Devil's Advocate.
Thank you.